Hey everyone, Ashley here. I am outdoors enjoying another beautiful spring day, and I hope that you are getting outside too, especially during quarantine and COVID. Being out in nature is so good for our mental health and our physical health, and that is so important to stay healthy right now. Also, while we're getting outside, it's important to keep in mind an idea called Leave No Trace, and I would love to share that with you. Now, Leave No Trace Center for Outdoor Ethics is an organization that takes data and science-based research. They figure out how we as individuals and humans impact the environments around us. Now, usually when you hear about this, it's going to be in terms of wilderness environments or parks like state parks or national parks, but it can still be in the city. It can be a little patch of wildflowers near where you live. Those help pollinators, so that is technically nature, which is awesome. And there are 7 principles, and the first of which is planning ahead and preparing. Now, you're probably already doing this without even thinking about it. If you're ever checking the weather before you go somewhere or letting your family know where you're going when you visit a friend, that is planning ahead and preparing. It simply means you're doing research about where you're going, what you're doing, and how you're going to do it, and being mindful of that. And the whole idea around Leave No Trace is impact. Are you going to have a lot of impact on the environment around you or very little? We're going to be somewhere in between all the time. And it doesn't have to be out in nature. This can be something that you just use every day, and it's really useful. Just being prepared for anything that could happen. So keep that in mind when you're planning your next adventure with your friends. Leave no trace and plan ahead and prepare.
Magda, a teen librarian from the Bordeaux branch, shares a story with us.
Hi, I'm Miss Magda from the Bordeaux Branch Library, and I have a question for you. So, have you ever watched a movie and then read a book, and then suddenly all the actors in the movie are now playing the characters in your book? Watching superhero videos have completely changed Norse mythology for me. Comment below in the questions and tell me who you are thinking about during this story. The Asgardians were at war with the frost giants every single day. Bam, bam, bam. Battle after battle after battle, right? Nobody was getting any sleep until this Mason shows up. Now, he was a weird looking guy, like gray skin that was tight on his bones, and his smile just didn't carry any warmth whatsoever. But he said he could build a wall all the way around Asgard, and that way the warriors could get some sleep. And then they would finally beat the frost giants. He only had a small price. He'd like to marry Freya, the goddess of love and beauty, and he would like the sun and the moon as well. To sweeten the deal, he said he could get the wall done in 3 seasons with all of his guys and his horse. No. This was impossible. Nobody wanted this deal, especially Freya. I mean, who wants to marry a guy like that, right? And Odin was going to say no. And then Loki talked him out of it, because Loki came up with a plan how they could get the wall but pay nothing. They agreed to the Masons' demands, except on condition. He could only have 1 season to build the wall, and he could only use himself and his horse, nobody else. He started to work the next day. It was the middle of winter, and he and his horse, this great big huge black stallion, began to drag rocks one day after another. And there were rocks, and it was getting taller, and it was getting wider, and this wall was really being built. Well, it was really entertaining to watch for a while. And then it got too cold to be outside. So all the Asgardians went into their grand hall and hung out until spring sprung. And they came out to see that the wall was almost finished. Only had a little bit of section and a gate left. That was it. And now Freya was angry. And who did she want to take her anger out on? That would be Loki. She went looking for him, found him sleeping outside in a hammock under the spring sunshine. She poked him with her finger, and when he woke up, she poked the air in the direction of the wall. He looked and got a little pale. And then he looked the other direction and realized Odin was coming to see him. The Allfather walked up, crossed his arms, and said, "You will fix this." Okay, no problem. So Loki got to work. He watched the mason go back and forth, and he realized where he was going to go get the rocks. And so he followed him to that direction. The mason took no notice of anybody else, just picked up rocks and loaded up his horse, and then he realized his horse wasn't moving at all. It was looking out in the direction of the woods. He looked himself to see what his horse was looking at, and he realized that it was a female white mare, shaking her mane, shaking her tail. And here is his horse, paying a lot of attention. All of a sudden, the stallion reared up, knocked off his reins, and went running for that white horse. Well, she took off into the woods, because she wasn't going to get caught. And the two of them left the mason behind in the dust. He tried to drag all those rocks back to Asgard. It didn't work very well. And he tried to finish the wall in time, and that didn't work out well at all. And he realized that the gods had tricked him somehow. He went stomping into the grand hall, and at that point his disguise fell away. He grew huge with pale skin and frosty blue eyes, and we realized that he is actually a frost giant. This wall, with all of its secrets, all that information would have been taken back to the frost giants, and they would have actually won the war. And so Thor took up his mighty hammer, and he and Mjolnir took care of that frost giant. As for Loki, he came back about a year later with a gray horse with 6 legs. Loki looked as tired as a mother who has an infant and a toddler at home. He went straight to Allfather and offered Odin his horse, saying that, well, he had not been able to outrun the Black Stallion, and he had been spending the last year with a new little colt. If Odin would take this as a gift, maybe he would be allowed to come back home. And Odin forgave Loki. And he got a new horse, one that would lead him on the grand hunt and also defeat the frost giants.
Hello everyone, this is your Teen Center Music Mentor, Rhett McDonald, and right now I'm going to talk to you about a neat little tool that is used on the guitar to allow you to play the cowboy chords in any place on the neck, so virtually in any key. That tool is called the capo, and if you have played the guitar, you may be familiar with the capo and what it is for, which is what I just said, playing the cowboy chords in any key. So basically where you don't have to learn any new chord shapes to play other chords, because when you're playing in open strings, which would be no capo, that makes it where there's only one key that the cowboy chords can be played in. That's right here. Like none of that sounds right, obviously. So it has to be here. Well, now you can keep those shapes as long as you remain in the same position. So now this becomes our new open. So your G shape would be here. You can do this anywhere on the neck as long as you follow the same intervals. So it's place the capo, go 1, 2, 3. This is all just to say that you can still do your cowboy chords. You don't really have to learn any new shapes or positions or anything with the capo. That's what it's for. Enjoy.
I'm never afraid this city will forget to breathe. The silence downtown rings out like tornado sirens, but if you peer into our windows, the city keeps singing. Disaster after disaster makes most broken. It made us artists. Our music is an iron lung. 200 years and the city still feels young because there will always be more children, more lyrics, more hope that tomorrow brings something luminescent. The thing about people is we all exist with as many faces as friends. So when the storm comes, we empty the shelves. We shield the children. We watch our backs because the storm will make you see yourself. When the storm comes, you cannot lock the door. When the sickness comes, you can't forget anymore. Disasters make us remember the things we fight for, live for. Like when your sister says she loves you, you fight to believe her. You never realize how fast disaster can show you the worst side of humanity, or how it can show you beauty. Somehow, this quarantine has given me sanctuary. It is saving the only light left, the way the clap of our hands keep time with our syncopated heartbeats. I call it daylight savings time. My city is its bluegrass rhythm. And I know that tomorrow will sing because every choice we make in darker times splinters into different timelines. There's always a timeline where we come together as a community. And there's always a timeline where we fall apart. There is never a more resounding still than the moment when reality splits. In the hush, another world is born. In the moments when the wind is prepped to decimate millions of years of evolution in a single breath, there may not be silence, but there is stillness. I imagine a diametric mind. The shallow echo of a heartbeat in eardrums may remind us that we are alive. It may remind us how on a different timeline, any place could be in the eye of the storm. We are a city that has taken hits, and we have the right to mourn. May it remind us that there is more. We may have run out of clarity, but Nashville will never run out of possibility.
Hey guys, welcome back to the how-to segment at Studio NPL. I'm Rebecca Stone, your Studio NPL mentor. Great to see you again. Thank you so much for all the videos you've been sending in. We got another one I'm going to showcase today from Ayla. Ayla is a senior and she's going to teach us all about chickens. Take it away, Ayla.
Here's a step-by-step tutorial of how to take care of your chickens.
Chickens prefer to sleep above ground so they can roost and feel safe. In my coop, I have 3 shallow boxes filled with hay for them to sleep in, as well as a beam for them to roost on. Another important thing is to have an enclosed space for your chickens to lay eggs. I just use a plastic bucket and cut a hole in it. When feeding your hens, you can use laying pellets to help them lay eggs. I like to have the chicken feeders and water container above ground so that hay doesn't get in. If you want to make your chickens happy, a way to do that is to install a chicken run in your chicken coop. This is just a space that's connected to your coop that will allow your chickens to walk around. Some things you can feed your chickens are bananas, strawberries, peaches, and dried mealworms that you can get from the store. You can also feed them almost anything edible from the compost. And that's the end of my video. Just remember, happy chickens make great eggs.
Ayla, thank you so much for all that information about making happy chickens. Look at this, I got me a chicken. I'm gonna watch your video one more time just so I know how to get this chicken to be happy. I hope you guys will keep sending me your videos at Studio NPL Nashville at gmail.com.
Hello again, fabulous people out there in the NPL universe. It is Nina Neesmith reporting here from the comforts of my home rather than being with my fabulous teens down at the Nashville Public Library in the teen space. But it is okay because I am here with another fabulous fashion tip for you guys today. Right now, with everything that's going on, with the pandemic, they are pressing for face masks. So I have made it my aim to experiment and research on the easiest methods that anybody at any age can do with something that they have in their homes. Okay. I'm all about reusing because, like I said, I am a frugal fashionista. So today I'm going to show you guys another easy two-step, two-item tutorial for a face mask. I was inspired today because I was cleaning out my closet and I had a pair of leggings and I was like, I just can't let them go, even though me and the size are not getting along right now, but I'm going to find a use for them. And lo and behold, I kid you guys not, I did. Okay, I'm so psyched about this and I can't wait to show you. So like I said, it's camo print. Let me just say it's in fashion right now. If you guys, it's in season. If you guys don't have a pair of camo pants, you might want to try to hop on that. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyways, so I was like, today I have some errands I need to run. But like, I want to be cute today. I really want to be cute. Like, I just need that for myself to give me that that I need. So, I found a use for those leggings. So I'm going to show you how to make a mask out of an old pair of leggings. Okay. So it's really easy. Like I said, some scissors. And your leggings, okay? So ideally, if you're starting fresh, I've cut on this pair a few times today, practicing for this video. But ideally, you would use, if you're a first timer, if you have the hem of the garment at the bottom where the legs are, that is ideal. If you got that, you good to go. And if not, it's okay too, because I'm going to show you. It's going to work either way. All right. So the main thing is you want to be able to cover this whole area of your face if you can, and you want it to be snug. So the ideal fabric would be something that is a cotton blend that has a little weight to it, but it still has that stretch, that give, because it makes it a little more comfortable to wear rather than being like, with the bandana or just a regular scarf tying it, right? So let's get to it. Here we go. We have the item here, and you can just hold it up towards your face. You can mark if you want and go ahead and put a little nip in the fabric where it needs to, where you need to cut it, but I'm going to measure it there. So I'm going to hold it and let's cut it. I'm going to nip it there so I know. Please be careful with your scissors, all ages, doesn't matter. We want to be safe, okay? All right, so we're going to cut off this little portion of this pair of leggings that is about to be elevated into a fashion statement, okay? All right, so got your piece. It doesn't have to be perfect. Letting you know, don't have to be perfect, y'all. It's gonna work, okay? All right, so we have our one piece. Where the hem is on your garment, whatever it may be, in this case, the jeggings, you see the hem right there? We're gonna cut that seam so that we have one big piece of fabric. That's about to be something glorious, people, something glorious. All right, so see that? We have our mask happening. Okay, and so because we want it to be snug, we're going to cut off maybe an inch of it. Or I'm going to tell you, this is what you can do. We're going to measure from ear to ear. You want it to be snug. Okay, so you see where all that extra fabric is there? We can let that go. So that's about an inch. So where the seam is that we cut, let's cut that off. We're not going to need that. We're not going to need that at all. All right. So there we go. Doesn't matter if your line is straight, as long as it is rectangular-esque. That's not a word, but I made it up today. You're welcome. It's going to work out and it's going to be great. So we are going to fold it long ways here. See that? And you want to try to line it up as best you can. With some of the material, you will notice like it'll bunch in areas, but it's okay. Do the best you can. Alrighty, so we have that. You can cut off any excess just so that it looks nice and neat. You kind of want to be, if you're like me, you may want to be meticulous. So we're just gonna cut it just like that, see? And we're gonna go in about 1 centimeter. See that there where my finger is? You want to cut that far in to make your ear hole. So we'll do that, and we're going to cut about 75% of the way in. See that? So you still don't want to have too much. You don't want to go too far because you don't want it to snap on you. But you see how that looks? So that's one of your ear holes. And you are going to repeat it on the other side. I'm going to cut at that centimeter in. See that? 75% of the way. And you can cut off that little part that's not as cute as the rest of it. It's okay. So you'll have that little edge behind your ear to make it a little more comfortable. And ta-da! You have you got a face mask. You got a face mask. Look at that. And it's gonna match your pants. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous, you guys? I'm so elated right now, and I hope that you guys are just as excited and have enjoyed this tutorial. Stay tuned. We, including the rest of my team, have lots of other fun things coming your way soon. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Bye.
The following video takes a look at the dangers and the possible consequences of taking and/or sharing inappropriate pictures and videos. Remember, what you do today can also affect you in the future. Thanks for watching.
You dropped something.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Miss Magda, and I'm the teen librarian at the Bordeaux Branch Library, and I'm here to show you how to take a t-shirt and turn it into a bag. What do you need? Glad you asked. All you need is a t-shirt that you've got your folks' permission to transform. Now, please get your parents' permission because they won't let me hang out with you anymore if you don't, and that will make me very sad. Next, you need a pair of fabric scissors. Now, preferably you would like some scissors that have never touched paper, food, etc. But do what you need to do. That's it. Now you're going to take your t-shirt and you're going to cut off the sleeves and the collar. You can use the seam as a guide. Boop, 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 boop. And if you want to go a little bit wide on the collar, that's completely cool because the collar is going to actually be the opening of the bag itself. snip, 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 snip. Throw that away. Okay. Next, you're going to come down here to the bottom and you're going to start making some fringe. And you're going to cut from the bottom as far as you want to go. It really depends on how deep you want your bag to be, but make sure you're cutting through both the front and the back, and they're about 1 inch wide. It's just so that you don't lose any, because that is a danger. You're going to go all the way across with your fringe. And then you're going to come back to the beginning. And you're going to take your front fringe and you're going to take your back fringe and you're going to tie it together. So you take your front and your back and you knot it together. You take your front and your back and you knot it together. All the way across. Front, back, knot. This doesn't have to be precise, but the knots should be pretty tight because you don't want anything falling through. And you're going to go all the way over until you get something that looks like this. Now, you can choose whether or not to leave the logo out and be proud, or you can turn it inside out so that it's just a plain color. You can also choose whether or not to leave your fringe all beautiful there, or you can cut it close and then turn it inside out. So you just have a plain bag like this. And that's it, guys. And I'm Miss Magda, and I'm the teen librarian at the Bordeaux Branch Library. So come back and make some more stuff with us next week. You can also check out the rest of the NPL universe at our Instagram, our Facebook, and our website. Enjoy summer reading.